This is Raz Mesinai, and this is the second tutorial on creating instrument and effect racks in Ableton Live inspired by natural sonic phenomena. And for this one, we're going to delve into the amazing sound of overtone singing, also called harmonic or throat singing. This vocal effect can be heard throughout Central Asia, places like Tuva, with Tuva throat singing being one of the most popular, as well as Mongolia, Tibet, and other places around the world, each with their own form and style. Now when we sing, normally we amplify the frequency that corresponds to the note that we want. But singing several notes at once is extremely difficult. However, in overtone singing, the singer can sing the fundamental note, or the bass note, as well as overtones, by boosting frequencies in the vocal tract and manipulating the shape of the resonance, giving the perception of more than one note being sung simultaneously. Now to think about this in terms of synthesis, the way a synth works is very similar to how the voice works. We generate the initial sound and push it out through our lungs, similar to an oscillator generating a sine wave which is routed through the amplifier of a synthesizer. We can add noise with breath, like a whisper, or by vibrating the voice, creating a guttural effect, as well as modulate the pitch, just like with the LFO in a synth. Now when we're going to do a sound design based off of overtone singing, there's one difference. We're going to need additional filters. So in order to help that along, as you'll see in this tutorial, I've added several EQs to the instrument to give me that ability to raise the level of other frequencies and widen or narrow the resonances with the knob. And here's what I came up with. Okay, so let's look under the hood. As you can see, I did this entirely with one operator, a lot of EQ, some reverb, and compression. I really like operator because of the range of synthesis I can do. It covers subtractive, additive, and frequency modulation synthesis. I have a MIDI clip playing one held note on loop while I sculpt the instrument. Now, off the bat, I know that if I'm going to create a sound design based off of nature, I'm going to need to start with a sine wave, because the sine wave is the mother of synthesizer waves. They all begin here. So the waveform of oscillator A is set on sine, which is also operator's default. So I just left that alone and added oscillator B, which is also on sine, with the same settings except the knob that affects the fine pitch is mapped to a macro. And in the mapping browser, I set the limits of the minimum and maximum, which coincides with the knob going to the left or to the right. Now this is going to do two things that I want. First, it'll give me control over dissonance. And second, it'll give me the modulation I'm looking for. Because as soon as one oscillator slides off of the pitch of the other, it'll create a pulse. And the higher it goes, the faster the modulation will be. I also added the oscillator's amplitude level to a macro next to it for more control. Okay, so that's the bottom layer of the voice. But I needed to make the voice more realistic, at least in theory. So I needed the next layer. I got some higher frequencies from operator's LFO. By setting the frequency of the LFO range to high. And this gives me a sort of guttural effect, like a baritone throat singer. Then I left the LFO's amount and rate to separate macro knobs so that I can have some control over them. And this is the result. And then combined with the two oscillators. Okay, so that's basically the bottom of the sound design. Now here's what I did on top. So the fifth macro, which is the bottom left macro that says overtone on it, what's pushing the overtones and giving it this realistic voice is EQ. And a lot of them. I've actually combined several EQs to one macro, which when crisscrossed and tweaked in the mapping browser boosts certain frequencies, which sometimes collide and amplify the overtones. I've also added extra EQs for the purpose of trimming certain unwanted frequencies that might get out of hand during a performance on the instrument. Also, notice that on the EQ that's causing all the different overtones, that the mode is on left-right, not on stereo. This is what it sounds like on stereo, and left and right. So I can switch and EQ the left and the right separately. So the macro is changing both the left and the right in different ways. Okay, so that's it. One operator, a bunch of EQs, and a whole lot of love. This is Raz Mesinai, and I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. And please stay tuned for more Sound Alchemy, right here at Dubspot.
Welcome to Dubspot. We believe in providing you hands-on experience right away. Whether you're completely new to music and want to turn the sounds in your head into a musical reality, or you're an experienced artist looking to refine your skills and add new tools to your arsenal, we're ready to meet you at your level. For students of all ages, all levels, and all styles of music, Dubspot is here to help you achieve your goals. With course offerings both online wherever you are and at our school in the heart of New York City, we are ready to guide you through the next phase of your musical transformation. Whether you want to produce music, DJ, or do both, you've come to the right place. Come explore Dubspot for yourself, become a part of our community, and make music.